Hello everyone, it's Katie, the Stash Queen. Now before we begin, I have been informed that there is a so-called coffee stitcher who is daring to imply, again, not only that he is more Texan than me, but he has besmirched the Stash Queen name by doing the quotation marks around Queen. Poor boy. I think he's just jealous that I have the crowns, I have the stash, I have made it abundantly clear and have the support of all of you guys as being the true Stash Queen. But you know, he claims to be the coffee stitcher. He shows stitching, but does he show coffee? I don't think so. He's too busy drinking the Dr. Pepper, which real Texans drink Dr. Pepper, and we've established that real Texans drink Dr. Pepper in glass bottles with real sugar. And I think it's adorable that he feels that you have to have the cans in order to go out in public or something like that. Real Texans can handle glass bottles in public, and real Texans know how to drink out of bottles properly. There is more to come after I get back from my family time to truly establish once and for all who is more Texan, me or coffee stitcher. So stay tuned for that. I know, these are getting a little silly, but we're having a lot of fun with it. Hi everyone. I'm hoping you're having a wonderful week. You've had a great stitch week. I'm here for my Sunday update, which is going to be a little bit different than normal. Still kind of same format, but just a little bit of a different amount of information to share with you guys this week. I have some haul. Yay! I have my week in review to share with you guys. I'm doing a mini whips for the week, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And then I have my Mirabilia Nora Corbett stash to share with you guys today. But I did find one thing today, and I don't think I shared it when I shared the rest of my Glendon Place stash last week. I found this buried among some of my Miras and not with the rest of the Glendon Place that I had taken out. So like I said, when I started doing these stash videos in regards to patterns, if I found a pattern later on, I was going to show it when I found it. This one from Glendon Place is Witching It Was Halloween, that I also had in my stash, which I think is just so cute. So yes, there you go. Sorry I missed that last week, but look, you get a little bit of an extra Glendon Place this week. And I'll put that back in there later. So, let's start with haul, shall we? The sale at 123 Stitch last week was such a horrible sale. It was all fairies and fairy tales, and if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know that those are my weaknesses. But I was good. I kept it minimally-ish. Yeah. So first off, and I'll show this again later when I do my mirror stash, I got the Thanksgiving Harvest Fairy Kit. Now there's a glare. Sorry, I haven't opened the kit yet to pull it out. But there's the Thanksgiving Harvest Fairy. And all the beads and fabric and floss in the back. Because I'm working on the Valentine Fairy. And I have the others in my stash. Including now also the Christmas Elf Fairy. The first one in this collection. Again, also, sorry for the glare. I haven't opened it from the package. But it has all of the threads and flosses and whisper and beads and all that stuff in the back as well. So those were my two purchases from the Fairies and Fantasy 123 Stitch sale. I had so much other things, so many other patterns that I put in my checkout basket, and I was like, do I really need that? No. Do I really need that? No. I have to get those two kits because I really wanted to finish out the series. I also got a 123 Stitch order that I had ordered before that sale, which was because I realized I was missing a couple of DMCs that I needed. So yes, I'll show the DMCs because there's only two. One is 3825, the other is 3765. Pretty oranges and blues, just your DMC. And because I can't justify just ordering DMC by itself without ordering something else, I did get the Eastern Star Santa from the Mill Hill Starlight Santas collection. as well. Another cute little ornament kit. And I have a lot of the Santas. See all the beads and the floss and all that. So those were my 1, 2, 3 stitch stash. I also got, I'm so excited, at the behest of Coffee Stitcher, every time I say coffee, I should drink some coffee. He introduced me to Dragonfly Lotus, and he's talked about Dragonfly Lotus a lot. And Liz is great. She is also in charge of doing the Stitchy box, which I've gotten for a few months now, but I hadn't joined her Thread of the Month clubs before. I finally joined it, and I got my first order, and I ordered a couple of other things from her after I joined the club. But I got my June 2015 order. I'm pulling it all out so I can pull it separately. The June 2015 club order, and some flosses and another little kit that I had ordered from her, and I've got more coming. Yay! But I'm so impressed with this. This is my first month of receiving Threads of the Month from Dragonfly Lotus, and it's just awesome. First, it does come with a cool little card that that has the different flosses of the month for the club exclusives, and little bits of it so you can remember what they were if you wanted to order. I do the Lotus collection and the Mulberry collection for my orders. So here is, all right, the Mulberry collection, it's Mulberry Silk, and this is a 25-yard skein. This color is Hard Rock. This is just, I love it. It's pretty, it's got blacks and grays and whites and pinks, and it's just so cool looking. And it's a 25-yard skein of Mulberry Silk, 100% Mulberry Silk. And then the other one from the Mulberry collection is Scholarly Text, which is a dark blue, let's see if I can go, maybe show a little bit better against the white. Dark blue and black colors. It reminds me a lot of one of the Water Lilies colors for Raven Queen, quite honestly. And then the other one that I get is the Lotus collection, and this is a 25-yard skein of wool and silk combo. This one is Vamp, which again, another cool gray, black, white, red, and it's so soft. It is so, so soft. And then this one is another 25-yard skein. It's an alpaca and silk brand or combo, and it's called Moonless Night, which is a really pretty black. I've not used wool before, but having watched Coffee Stitcher and a few others who have, I think it would be something really cool to kind of work into pieces here and there, and I'm really excited about using these colors of the month. I also ordered from her, this is a 25-yard skein of merino wool and silk and inner Grinch. She's clearing out her inner Grinch stash, and so I had to get a skein of it. It's just so pretty. Look at those greens. It's very Grinchy. Very, very Grinchy. And then she had some other one-of-a-kind batches that I ordered some from. This one is a wool, 100% wool. And it's a greens and reds. Kind of an old worldy Christmassy feel. This one is also wool. It's just a really pretty orange. I really liked it. And it's so soft, so soft. And then this one's also merino wool, which is just this real cool, like, sea colors almost. It's got yellow, and it's got brown, and it's got blue, and it's got green. It's just really, really cool. So I'm really excited to use all of those. And then I ordered to reestablish the queen here. Not really, I just thought this was really cute. I ordered a kit from her that she had at the 2015 Celebration of Needlework show. It's a limited edition designer gem, and it's got the whole kit in here with flosses and the little gem piece, and you can make one of those crowns. I haven't decided which one I'm going to make yet, but I am the stash queen. There will be another crown, because you can never have too many crowns as a stash queen. It's just not possible. So yay, I'm really excited about that. I've heard such great things about Dragonfly Lotus that I'm really excited to start to get to use it in my pieces. And also for you Stitch Maniacs out there, not only can I clutch my pearls, but I also have pearl earrings and a pearl bracelet. I'm all pearled out. Join Stitch Mania to get the jokes. So, week in review. Had another really successful week this week. I was able to work on all my pieces, so I didn't have any holdovers this week. Yay! And Wine and Whips for The Little Mermaid is still going really well. So I will give you guys an update on that in my next video because we've still got a couple more days left of doing Wine and Whips. So this one is Princess Leia from Fangirl Stitches. When we started, we only had, sorry, get this up here a little bit. We only had this one in the middle done, and then I went ahead and started working the rest of the white. She had a lot of white in her costumes in the first couple of movies. The one, like, this is really over to this side, from here to here are like the first movie and a half, and then from the rest of it, you've got like her slave costume and her other cool costumes when she was with the Ewoks and all that. But she had a lot of white, and so I figured I'd try to work on all the white. So we got a lot of headless Princess Leias right now. But it was going really quick. I didn't have a lot of time to stitch on that last week, so it went really fast, all things considered. I'm still watching for when she releases the Queen Amidala version of this, because I will so be getting that. That'll probably be my May the 4th project for next year, which works for Stitch Mania. Next is Quaker Diamonds by Rosewood Manor. I made a lot of good progress on this one this week. When we started, I only had the dark brown outer diamond, but I did the inner brown diamond, the blue triangle squares, and then the little green edges over here. This was just a really soothing stitch to work on. I really enjoyed it. It just went so fast, and it is variegated thread, so I do the one cross at a time, which you would think would take more time, but this just, I mean, it really just flew when I finally sat down to work on it that day. I don't think I showed this last time, but even if I did, I'm showing it again. Balls of floss. How fun are those? This is the Baldani flosses that are used in the Quaker Diamonds. And I love it. It's awesome to work with. And they're just so fun, little balls of floss. This is Rainbow Parfait from Glendon Place. Let's get this open up here. And this week I started working on the blue diamond over here. I got the first row, or first outer row done, and started working on the inner row of the blue. Yay! This is another one that was really nice to work on. I really do like working with the Dinky Dye silks. They're just really smooth for me. They don't knot up really for me, like other people have commented on. And, you know, silk in comparison to DMC just glides through the thread, or through the fabric. And it's such a nice thing to work with. Yes, I'm putting these up while I talk to you guys today. Next was Rapunzel by Joan Elliott. And I did the first part, this entire column over here. Oops. Can't really hold things today. The column over here, because I was going to work on the column and go up and over and then go down. Because she really is done for this page. There's still a couple more pages in the pattern to go, but she is done for this page. So I was going to go and do, and then get a little bit closer so you can see a little bit more of the column. But I was going to do up and the arch that goes over, and then work on that so I can move on to the next page. Next, I did worked on Robin Hood by Little House Needleworks. This also went really quick while I was working on it, which was really nice. I had only had Sherwood when I started, But I got forest, and I did robin, and I started on the trees in the forest. I'm just gonna show Robin a little bit closer because he's just so cute. See, can you see him okay? There you go. There's Robin with a little bow and arrow and everything. But yeah, this went really, really quick, which was nice. I enjoyed working on that a lot more than I knew I was gonna like it, but like I said before, prim patterns really aren't my thing. They're not my style aesthetic. But that one was really a joy to work on. That one and the Quaker Diamonds are my two primitive patterns, I guess you can say, that I worked on this week. And they both were really, really nice to work on. Then I worked on Rose Fairy from Joan Elliott. Got a little bit more of her skirt done. And this will tell you something. That gold is Krynic, however you pronounce it. And I was so excited to be doing a Krynic that wasn't 032, because that was what was all in the background of Angel of Compassion. And it was nice to be able to use a different color Krynic from my collection. And it worked, the ammunition case worked really, really well for the holding the Krynic in and putting the little extra pieces back in. It worked really well. And then the last piece I worked on this week was the one I worked on yesterday, which is Santa by Jim Shore from Mill Hill. So I got his face. See, it's kind of hard to see because you're seeing through it. I have something I can use just so you don't see all the way through it here. I got his face done. Maybe that's not so good. Oh well, I'm sorry, it's not really showing up well with this blue. And then start working some on his outfit and finish the last couple colors that were needed in his beard. I was able to show it to my son and ask him, who is this? And he could identify it as Santa, so I consider that a success. So yeah, those are all the pieces that I worked on this week. Another successful stitchy week. This next week's gonna be kind of weird. As I've said already a couple of times, starting this Wednesday, I'm going to be doing some family time, and I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to have all of my access to my stitchy stuff. So I've been debating back and forth on what I'm going to bring, because we're going to be gone for a week, and in that week you hit August 1st, which means Storytime Sampler comes out, and Zodiac comes out, and we start a new Stitch Along and Stitch Mania for August ABCs, and we end the Stitch Along with Wine and Whips, and you know, how am I going to do it? And I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to bring with me and what I'm going to do. But I have decided that for today and I'm going to do my normal rotation for today and tomorrow, and do work on my Wine and Whips and work on the next two pieces that I'm going to show you guys. Tuesday, I'm only going to work on my Wine and Whips piece. I'm going to do that last hour for Wine and Whips, and then I will come and do a video, because I'll be packing at that point, and I'll be doing, I'll be figuring out what I'm going to bring and what I'm going to need and how I'm going to kit it up and what I'm going to do. So I decided that Tuesday I didn't need to have a second piece to work on that day. I'll just finish up Wine and Whips. So I'll come back Tuesday when I actually have made my decision on how I'm going to do all this. But tomorrow and Monday are like normal. This first piece you've seen a lot of. It's my Skaters Village tree skirt. That comes up today just for normal rotation's sake. And just as a reminder, even though you saw this last video, I'll show you guys again where we're starting. And this tells you what a success Wine and Whips was for me, because I'm excited about working on this. And I can't ever say that before Wine and Whips I was excited about working on this piece. Not because I don't love it, because I do. I think it's beautiful and I can't wait for it to be done. But yeah. So here's where we're starting today. We'll see how much I can get done. Let's fold this one kind of back up because it is so unwieldy. It needs to be folded so I can get to the rest of my stuff for today. while I'm folding, I'll say we had an exciting venture out yesterday. I went with my husband and my kids to IKEA last night, and I think I know the furniture I'm gonna get for my mom cave. We're not gonna buy it till we're back in town. But I picked out some stuff that I think is gonna be really good for storage. And it's just a matter, the plan in my mind right now, and it may change, is that we're gonna buy the furniture, because you know IKEA, you gotta put it all together. And I can do that. I've put together every piece of IKEA furniture in this house with minimal assistance. I think the beds that are in the kids' room are the only things that I needed real assistance on, because I follow directions. My husband doesn't so much. He figures a piece is complete when it looks like it should look on the box, and it doesn't matter if there's extra spare pieces left over, that there shouldn't be spare pieces. But anyway, if we can get the furniture purchased and brought upstairs, after the kids go back to school in a couple of weeks, I can really start focusing. I'll have a good several hours in a day to sit down and get this room cleared out. I haven't decided if I'm painting in here or not. It's a pretty, neutral beige color. I'm leaning towards leaving it beige because the furniture that I'm looking at getting is just going to be all white. And neutral works for all the different colors of stuff that I do. I don't want to get something on the walls that's too overpowering as far as color goes. And I want to be able to one day eventually decorate this room with my finished pieces. But since the majority of the stuff that I'm going to have is going to be white or neutral-ish as far as furniture goes, I'm thinking of just leaving it neutral. Plus that's one less step, and I hate painting. It's not fun. And there's curtains in here already that the previous owners left us that are an orangey brown, which are really pretty, and I like them. But if I paint the room, I might have to change the curtain. I can be lazy, what can I say? But I got a couple other things that are going to be put up in this room, like a shelf that my grandfather made for me when I was a little girl. It'll have a lot of my little young childhood trinkets and stuff on it. I'll have geeky stuff in here. A lot of the pop characters from some of my favorite shows and movies, and other geeky Whovian related fun stuff. So, but I'm excited. I have been seeing, Coffee Stitcher and Stitch and Fish and others who have been recently updating their rooms, and I've been doing a lot of binge watching on some of the other floss tubers that I'm only recently discovered, and looking at their videos when they showed off their stitchy rooms. This isn't going to replace my stitchy spot that's downstairs on the couch in the family room in front of the TV, but this will be a place where I can go and keep all my stuff in storage, or if I do need quiet and want time away from husband or children, or just want quiet space to do my own thing, I'll have a stitchy spot in here too, which is all good to me. And I rambled. Let's get back to my whips for the week. The other whip that I'm going to work on this week for tomorrow is Sleeping Beauty by Joan Elliott. Isn't she gorgeous? That skirt and the covers and the drapes right there, they're just gorgeous. A little intimidating, but gorgeous. And this is practically like a new start, because when I started it during Stitch Mania, I got a teeny tiny, little bitty, itsy bits of green. I mean, that's all I did. Is that maybe 20, maybe 30, maybe stitches? But here's what it looks like, or what it's gonna look. This is being done on, what is this being done on? 28 Jobelin in Brigitte from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. I just love this fabric. This is one of the pieces she had before she retired it, before she brought it back as a color in her line. It's just a gorgeous piece. And then the needle minder I have is Pinup Sleeping Beauty from Gina's Unique Needle Minders, which, let me say this now also, Gina's having her Halloween extravaganza release sale this weekend on her Facebook group. She did a bunch of them yesterday. She's doing a bunch more today. Check it out. There's a lot of really, I'm not a huge Halloween fan like we've talked about before, but there's some really cute needle minders on there. And plus these pinup girls, the pinup princesses, she has indicated that after this weekend, she's not going to have them available anymore. So if you're watching this on Sunday, the 26th of July, 2015, and you want some of those, go order them quickly from her Facebook group. I've ordered mine to finish out the collection because I want them all. I'm the stash queen. It's what I do. So those are my two for Sunday and Monday. And then Tuesday will just be the Wine and Whips Little Mermaid. And I will come back on Tuesday and show off the Wine and Whips update. Show off what's going to be my, what I'm going to bring with me. We're going to go out of town. And probably give an update or an overview of what August ABCs is going to be for Stitch Mania for August. So, you know, this video is going to be a little bit shorter than normal, even though I've got stash. I've got stash to show off. Grab it from all over back here. But when you only have 2 whips for the week to show off, it makes it a little bit shorter. So, I promised you guys today that I would show off my Mirabilia and Nora Corbett stash. There are only 2 patterns that are in my stash that I'm not going to be showing you guys today. One is the Trick or Treat Halloween Fairy, and the other is the Sunflower Fairy. And the reason I'm not showing those right now is because I have them saved digitally. I got them off of Hirschner's for very inexpensive. It's just the patterns, and they're digital, and you order them and you download them, and that's great. And I will show those at a different time when I do my digital pattern video of showing every digital pattern that I have. So those won't be shown in this stash. And the Trick or Treat Halloween Fairy is the one that I prefer from the Holiday Fairy line. It's the one that has the banner that says Trick or Treat instead of the butterfly wings, but I'm still debating if I'm actually going to get the butterfly wing Halloween Fairy kit. So, without further ado, let's start my Mirabilia and Nora Corbett stash collection. Yay! Now, you just saw these a couple minutes ago. Christmas Elf Fairy and the Thanksgiving Harvest Fairy are 2 of the fairies in her Fairy Holiday collection, my newest additions. I also have Miss New Year's Fairy in a kit. See, with all the goodies in the back. And I have the Easter Fairy in the kit with all the goodies in the back. So the only one from this series that I don't have is the Halloween Fairy. And since I have the Trick or Treat pattern, I may not get the Halloween Fairy. We'll see. I also have this one from her Stitching Fairies line. This is the Floss Fairy, because I love my floss and I think she's so cute. This is just the chart and fabric only. I don't have the floss and stuff with it, but I'm going to eventually get it. This is the first in her series of the Stitching Fairies. There's a bead one, there's a thimble one, there's a fabric one, I think. I'd love to get the rest of them. But, you know, one at a time. Not like I'm lacking for stash. So those are the kits that I have, my Mira and Nora kits that I have. The rest of these, I told you I have a lot. Just the patterns. And they're not separated between Mira's and Nora's. They're all just together. So, except one that's in a bag for some odd reason. I'll take it out and I'll show it first. This one is Persephone. I think she's lovely. I am a big fan of Greek and Roman mythology, so I do love all of these goddesses that she's got. This one is the Queen of Freedom, which I think is beautiful. I don't recall seeing this one very often. I've seen the angel, but I don't recall seeing the queen as much. I just think she's beautiful. This one is Lady of the Mist. In the garden at dusk is where you find the Lady of the Mist. I think she's pretty. This one is Christmas in London, which I think is really, really pretty. It's a little bit busier than some of her other patterns, but I love that. It's probably gonna be when I start. Well, I could say that about all of these. I'm gonna start them sometime soon. We'll see. This one is Roses of Provence. I think this is the one that Teresa Little Stitcher is doing. Maybe, maybe not. But I think it's gorgeous. She's just beautiful. Hold on. Can I take another drink? This one is Florentina. I think she's adorable. I really, really like her. She's beautiful. This one is Athena, the goddess of wisdom, one of my favorite of the Greek goddesses. She's beautiful. Of course, I will be saying, it's beautiful, she's beautiful. I love all of these. This one is Moonflowers. A lot of people are familiar with this one. It's another really popular one when it first came out. I love the purple down here. That purple color, that's what sold me on this piece. Was just that shade. I think it's gorgeous. This one is the Red Lady Pirate, which I have seen done on some beautiful hand-dyed fabrics. This one's one that really lends itself to a good hand-dyed fabric for the background and stuff. This one is July's Amethyst Fairy. I love all of the Birthstone Fairy line. This one is Lady Hera, the queen of the Greek goddesses, and the peacock is her thing. It's another peacock pattern, kind of like the one from Joan Elliott that I'm not normally a huge peacock person, but I think that one's lovely. This one is Sabrina. I love her dress in this, the white and black. I mean, it's a lot of white, don't get me wrong, but I just think it's gorgeous. Oh, Raven Queen. Everyone's seen this one already. It'll be my start in October, and because I'm doing it since the October stitch along is Raven Queen, it's gonna be the only one I work on for stitch along pieces in October. So we'll see how far I can get on this one. I want to start her. I need to go back and make sure I have everything that I need for her. I think I do because I ordered this stuff, but I need to pick fabric for her. This is Circle of Friends, which I'm not a huge fan of the fabric that they did this one on for the model, but I've seen this piece done on other fabrics and I think it's lovely. This one is Fairytales. It's an older one of her patterns from 1996 that I found recently. This one is the Rose of Sharon, which is another older pattern that I love all the conversions I've seen with this one, with all the different color roses and the different color gowns. This may be one that I play with doing a conversion myself on, but we'll see when we get to that. This one is June's Pearl Fairy, and my daughter's birthstone is June, or is Pearl, because she was born in June. So of course, had to get this one for her. This is a Partridge in a Pear Tree from Nora's 12 Days of Christmas line. I would have liked to eventually get the other 11 days as well. But if you're going to do a standalone piece from that Christmas Carol, Partridge in a Pear Tree's the easiest one. This one is the Dreamer. This is another one of her older patterns. It's really interesting to see the progression from her older patterns to her more current ones, because this one's like from 1994. So we're talking a long time ago. But it's beautiful. This one's Maidens of the Season 2. I have not yet gotten Maidens of the Season 1, but I'd like to, and then I'd like to do them all on one piece, because I've seen that done. I think they're beautiful. But this is fall and winter, right? Yeah, autumn and winter. This one is the Autumn Queen. The queens are stunning. All the work that is done on them, it's amazing to me. Shakespeare's fairies. I love my Shakespeare and I love my fairies. Again, not a huge fan of the fabric that this model is done on, but the piece is lovely. This one is Garden Party Cakes, one of the few non-fairy, non-lady patterns of hers that I like and have. I just think that one's fun. Then this one is Water Lily, one of her pixies. And then we have September Sapphire Fairy. Asian is not usually my thing, but this is gorgeous. I love the kimono. This one is Lily of the Valley, which is a flower for the month of May, which is mine and my son's birth month. I just think it's fun with all of the little lilies hanging down. And then my last Mira is Sleeping Princess, which I think, I love the mattresses, all the different colors in the mattresses. So yes, that, ladies and gentlemen, is my Mirabilia Nora Corbett collection. I have bits and pieces from all of these different lines of hers. There are many that I still have on my wish list. I want Bianca Bella. I want to get the November fairy and the May fairy for the birthstone fairies, because November is my husband's birth month and May is mine and my son's, like I said. I'd like to get the rest of the 12 Days of Christmas. I'd like to get the Santa and reindeers that she has, all the different reindeer pieces. Red, I've seen done so many times now that I have fallen in love with her, and I'd love to get red. There's so many that I love that, and she comes out with more every month. It's impossible to stay caught up. But there's lots out there. I would love to get the rest of the Stitching Fairies, more of the pixies. There's some of the pixies out there that are stunning. But you know, I've got time to collect more stash. So that's it for today. Tuesday will be when I come back next. We will do a Wine and Whips closeout for the month of July. We will do a preview most likely for August ABCs. I will show you guys the progress I made on the 2 whips that I have for today and tomorrow. I will show you guys what whips I'm planning on bringing with me out of town. If I get any haul in between now and Tuesday, so really tomorrow, if I get anything in the mail, I'll show that off. I think I have a tag that I need to go do, because I didn't realize that Coffee Stitcher had a tag. I think I watched it when I first was binge watching Flosstube, and forgot when I started doing my own Flosstube channel that he had one to go do. But yeah, I think that's about it today, everybody. So I hope you all have a great stitchy week. I will see you guys on Tuesday, and I'll talk to you soon.